Hello, and welcome for joining us today. My name is Carol Lombardi. I am the Executive Director of Graduate Admissions, and joining me today is Dr. Kristen Leck, the Program Director for BayPath Special Education Programs and English as a Second Language programs here at BayPath. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you.
For those of you that might not be familiar with BayPath, we were established in 1897 as a private not-for-profit. We do have campuses in Longmeadow, East Longmeadow, and of course, multiple online programs. We currently have over 3,300 students and more than 22,000 alumni worldwide. We are accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education, and all of our teacher licensure programs are approved by the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. On the graduate level, students choose BayPath for a variety of reasons, but we are known to be flexible and accessible with supportive faculty and staff, are engaging in diverse community, and an innovative approach to learning. We have been online since 2006. And we utilize Canvas. It's a very user-friendly and intuitive online learning platform, and we do have a free course that orients our new students to the Canvas platform. We also have a dedicated support team for our students should any issues arise during your life as a BayPath student. We are very student success focused here at BayPath, and we do try and provide you as many resources as possible so that you meet with success during your time here. Some of these resources include mentoring, tutoring, our librarians, our career development center, our career services center, accessibility services, to name a few. As I mentioned, Dr. Leck is our program director, and she has an extensive history in education. She worked for many years as both a special education teacher and special education administrator at both the elementary and middle school levels. And since leaving the K-12 arena, she's taught at both the undergraduate and graduate levels, specializing in special education and educational research. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you, Carol.
I will let you take over from this point.
Thank you. So I'm going to first start our discussion on focusing on our English as a Second Language program. So for English as a Second Language, we do offer both a master's degree and an educational specialist. Both degree options are a total of 39 credits. Within those 39 credits, students take 9 core courses, and then 12 of those credits are your practicum and seminar component. We do offer 3 options. We have 2 licensure tracks, an initial license at the pre-K through 6 level, and then an initial ESL license at grades 5 through 12. We do also offer an option for a non-licensure, which does not lead to a Massachusetts educator license and does not include a practicum experience. We do have flexible start dates enrolling for the summer, fall, and spring semesters. We also have a couple of certificate options that graduate students can add to their program. We have an autism certificate, which is 12 credits fully online, which dives deeper into coursework working with students with autism and service providers in that realm, in the K-12 realm. We also have a language and literacy certificate, which again is 12 credits, and that focuses taking a deep dive into teaching reading and writing across all grade levels, so pre-K through 12, and again, that is fully online. Within the ESL program, most of the core courses require some type of field-based experience. A majority of those experiences are simply observational, but just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to switch to the special education graduate programs. Again, we offer a master's level and an educational specialist level. Within the special education programs, it's a total of 36 credits. We offer a variety of options of tracks that students can choose from. Within the moderate disabilities pre-K through 8, we have a initial licensure and professional licensure program. For moderate disabilities 5 through 12, again, we offer options for initial and professional licensure, and the same with severe disabilities, all levels. Similar to ESL, we do offer the non-licensure track, which does not lead to educator license and does not include a practicum experience. Within this program, we also enroll 3 times a year for the three semesters. We also have the same certificate options, but we also have some endorsement options. And this is a little bit different than ESL because the endorsements are through the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and they attach to your special education license. So the first one is the autism endorsement, so the autism specialist endorsement. So it's those 12 credits that are within the autism certificate program, but then it adds an additional 3 credit practicum experience where our teacher candidates are working out in the field with students with autism. The second endorsement is our transition specialist endorsement. Similar to the autism endorsement, this endorsement focuses on working with transition age students, so ages 14 through adulthood, at the secondary and post-secondary level. And again, this does include a 3 credit or 150-hour practicum experience. Also with the special education programs, we do have an English as a second language certificate, which is 12 credits fully online, and it adds 4 courses diving deeper into working with our English language learners in the K-12 environment. And our special ed program, similar to ESL, is fully online. So now I'm going to go into a couple of slides that pertain to both the graduate programs in special education and English as a second language. So all of our courses are taught by highly qualified instructors. So most of the instructors are current teachers or administrators working in K-12. So they're bringing relevant practices as to what's happening in our schools to the classrooms at the college level. Both programs include a year-long practicum experience. So during your student teaching, you will be supported by a program supervisor who is a faculty member here at BayPath and a supervising practitioner out in the school district where you're doing your student teaching. But it is a full year practicum, so our teacher candidates begin that the end of August and go right straight through to till June, so the entire academic year. It is a full-time student teaching experience as well. All teacher candidates are required to pass all of their MTELs prior to entering into a pre-practicum or practicum component within their program. Along with that, MTEL offers a tremendous amount of MTEL support for our graduate students in the form of workshops, both through BayPath and outside providers that we financially pay for students to attend. We also offer MTEL vouchers for students who may find a financial need for that. So getting into those MTELs, I have this broken down by licensure area and the required MTELs that you need in order to proceed to that practicum experience and ultimately receive become endorsed for an initial license. So on this slide here, we have our ESL. So both levels, grades 1 through 6 and 5 through 12, have the same MTEL requirements, and that's the communication and literacy, which consists of 2 subtests of reading and writing, and then your English as a second language English as a second language subject matter, MTEL. For special education, I have it broken down again by licensure area, and there's a little bit of variance here. So if we look at moderate pre-K through 8, you're required to take the communication and literacy. the general curriculum, which is a math and multi-subject subtest, which have recently changed. So this month, the names of the tests have changed. So now it's ELA and social sciences and a math and science MTEL subtest, and your foundations of reading MTEL. For moderate 5 through 12, again, the communication and literacy and the foundations of reading stay the same. But for the general curriculum, you can either take those 2 subtests or you can take a subject matter MTEL at either the middle school or high school levels. So it has to be a content area, such as math or English, as well as a science. For our severe license, teacher candidates will take the communication and literacy and the general curriculum at this time. DESE right now does not require the foundations of reading for that licensure area. So as I mentioned previously, all MTELs must be completed before your pre-practicum in order to register for that course and progress into the pre-practicum experience and then your practicum experience. Like I mentioned before, we do offer many MTEL workshops for BayPath students only in different modalities. So we have fully online, we have hybrid, we have workshops through the university. We do send students to companies outside of BayPath as well. We also have a part-time MTEL coach on staff that is easily accessible for one-on-one appointments as well as group study appointments. So now I'm going to talk about the practicum, and this again applies to both the special ed and ESL programs. As I mentioned, it's a year-long experience. Student teachers typically start the end of August when the K-12 schools start up again and go straight through till June when school gets out. This carries a total of 12 credits. There's 6 credits of the practicum component and 6 credits of the seminar component. So the seminar is a course that meets online every other week for a few hours, where teacher candidates get together with their professor and their program supervisors, and we talk about the CAP, which is the Candidate Assessment of Performance. That's the assessment tool that teacher candidates are rated on during their student teaching. So we talk a lot about that. We talk a lot about, you know, what the experience is like and what you may be struggling with and what others in your class are struggling with, and we celebrate things that are working well. We also have dedicated time we devote to the curriculum framework. So in the fall, we focus on the ELA and history curriculum frameworks, and in the spring, we focus on math, science, and digital literacy. All coursework must be completed by the time the practicum ends. So typically it's a 2.5 year program. Students take their core courses and any electives prior to entering that practicum experience. They're working on their MTELs, and then that second year is really that practicum experience. So you shouldn't have any outstanding coursework to complete after the practicum ends. Which leads me to advising. So here, as a graduate student, you will be assigned 3 advisors. You'll have advising meetings a couple weeks before open registration. And during that time, you'll meet with your advisor to plan your courses that you're going to register for. We talk a lot about MTELs and MTEL support that you may need. Getting closer to practicum, we talk about the practicum experience and field placements. Another key thing about BayPath is that we have very flexible advising appointments. We truly understand that we're working with graduate students, adult learners who have other responsibilities, who may have families, full-time jobs. So we really pride ourselves on, being as flexible as we can. So it's not unusual to have, a meeting with your advisor, a telephone call very early in the morning before you go to work, or on your lunch break, or late in the evening after, you've had dinner with your family and you've put kids to bed. So we're very appreciative of that and accommodating.
And
Yep.
I am happy to go over the application requirements. It is a very streamlined process. We have an electronic application. We require all official transcripts from your undergraduate and/or graduate institutions, an essay 300 to 500 words, why the special education program or ESL program is important to your personal and professional goals, a current resume, 2 recommendation forms, which we do provide for you, professional or academic are recommended, a signed program requirements form. If you've taken any of your MTELs, you can submit that, and if you have a teaching license, you would submit that as well. Financial aid is available. Our student financial services team is amazing. So they do have a webinar the first Wednesday of every month on how to pay for graduate school. They are available every Friday for live help filing your financial aid application. They call them Fast for Fridays. And they are available by phone, by email, and also by appointment. So they are definitely ready to assist you with any questions you have about the financial aid process. So now we're going to answer some questions. Kristen, the first question is, how are BayPath online classes set up? Are the courses synchronous or asynchronous?
So we have a combination of both synchronous and asynchronous courses. We do run on a 14-week semester. So typically for synchronous courses, you will have required Zoom meetings each week. Typically they could be on one evening during the week after work. It can vary between 6 to 8, 7 to 9. So we try to be as accommodating considering work schedules. We also have another option would be a Saturday morning class, again, which meets on Zoom, which could be 8 to 12 or 9 to 11. So we do have that flexibility there. And you'd be having weekly assignments in those modules through Canvas as well during those synchronous courses. Our asynchronous courses, similar format without the required Zoom meetings. So you'll have weekly modules for those 14 weeks where you'll have assignments, you'll have discussion forums as a way to interact with your peers in the course. So our discussion forums are, because we are an online program, are really the heart of your courses. That's where you are interacting with your peers, with the instructor very frequently throughout the week.
Will I be able to juggle coursework and a full-time job?
Yes, so our program was really designed for working adults. So like I had mentioned previously, any required Zoom meetings really are in the evenings or on the weekends. Your instructors are easily accessible with, through email, through the phone. Most all instructors within both programs do give out their personal cell phone numbers. So if you're working on an assignment and it's in the evening or on the weekend and you really need to get a hold of somebody, they're very accessible. Yeah, typically students take 2 classes a semester. On the rare case, I'll have a student who will say, I have other things going on. I'm going to take 1 course this semester, and that's perfectly fine. In the summertime, because we are educators, there's a lot of students that do take 3 courses in the summer when they may not be teaching.
Thank you. And approximately how many hours per week will I need to set aside for each course?
So that varies. I would say it's a personal learning preference. If you're taking 2 courses a semester, I'm going to say anywhere from 6 to 8 hours per course, just with the required readings, assignments, engagement in the discussion forums. But again, that could be more or less depending on your learning style. But I would say that would probably be an approximate number of hours you could count on.
Thank you. And you did just touch upon this, but it's safe to say that the faculty are very accessible.
Yes, extremely accessible. Yep. They do hold, so in addition to, contacting them by phone and email, they do hold weekly office hours through Zoom. So, if you're really struggling with something and you need some extra help or clarification, they do have weekly Zoom meetings where you can sign up to meet virtually with your instructor.
Thank you. And I know you discussed MTEL, but just to confirm, BayPath has a high level of MTEL preparation, correct?
Yes, we do. We pride ourselves on that. We know those exams can be very difficult for a lot of teacher candidates. So we do provide, as much support as needed.
If I were to move out of Massachusetts, will my license transfer to another state?
So that depends. So our program is a Massachusetts approved educator preparation program. However, if you plan on moving out of state, I would suggest contacting that state's Department of Education and find out exactly what you need to become licensed in that state.
Thank you. Can I work during my practicum?
So your practicum is a full-time experience. So we expect you to be in that student teaching role Monday through Friday during the entire school day. Most of our teacher candidates are already working in a school when they come into the program or start working in a school during the program. So when it comes time for practicum, they are already working in a school. If you are in a classroom and you have the population of students in front of you for the license that you're seeking, you can complete your practicum in your job, so in that classroom. Typically, that's how it works with 99% of the students within the program. The only other concern is that your school district would have to approve that.
Thank you. How difficult is it to add another special education license? For example, if I'm taking the moderate disabilities pre-K through 8, and then I wanted to add the 5 through 12 moderate disabilities, is that difficult?
So I will answer that in 2 parts. So for that example, adding a moderate to another moderate at a different level, that's something that you can do in your school district after you have a license. So it's simply a field-based placement for the required number of hours. So for 300 hours, that's something that your school district could do and you could apply for on your own. We do have a dual licensure program in special ed here for both moderate and severe. So if somebody is interested in becoming licensed in both the 2 areas, moderate and severe, we do offer that here. And it's same 36 credits, teacher candidates. So within the special ed program, we have a couple of electives. So if a teacher candidate is coming in and they're seeking dual license, those electives would then turn into core courses, so we could ensure that they've met the subject matter knowledge for both licensure areas. And then for that practicum experience, they do a split practicum. So they'll do a moderate practicum for one semester and then a severe practicum for the spring semester. So we do offer a dual licensure option for anyone that's interested.
Perfect, thank you. And the final question is, in your opinion, what sets our program apart from other programs leading to licensure?
Yeah, so I think right off the bat, our year-long practicum. We are probably one of the only institutions in the state of Mass that has a full year practicum for special ed and ESL. And I really think that gives teacher candidates an extended amount of supported experience to really, enter as a licensed teacher day one, very highly qualified. The other option, or the other reason I think we stand out, is our smaller class sizes and our instructors and our students. I always get feedback from our school district partnerships. They know when they have a Bay Path teacher on staff when they hire them. They're very well prepared. They succeed in the classroom. They succeed in their school districts. And that's really meaningful as a program director when you hear that feedback consistently from different school districts.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So I'd just like to point to all of our contact information. Kristen as the program director, myself working with the special education programs, and Jana O'Connell, who could answer any admissions questions regarding ESL. Any of us would be happy to assist you, so please don't hesitate to reach out. And Kristen, thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful day, and please let us know if we can assist you.